All right, so in this video, we're still dealing with 1-point perspective. So if you're watching this one, maybe you want some more tips on different shapes to make them from 2D to 3D by using the vanishing point, or maybe you just want to see me draw some more for some more tips. So remember, in this project, you're required to do 10 shapes by turning them into forms by using your vanishing point, okay, on one piece of paper. And so when you're done, it'll look like buildings seen from the sky. All right, so let's do some more. I'm going to try and fit some more on here so that we have 10. So I drew a diamond on here from the previous video, so let's go ahead and make it look nicer. So I'm breaking my rule, and I'm not lining it up on the edge of my sketchbook, but it's because it's a different type of shape. So I'm going to make my diamond nice and clean looking by using my straight edge. Erase my sketch from earlier. Okay, so now I'm going to take my corners to my vanishing point. So let's see what I get. And depending on where you draw your diamond, it may look different. It just depends. I take this corner, connect it to my vanishing point, connect. And I have a feeling that's all I'm going to have to do. Like if I took this corner, look and see how it's going in on itself. So then it's breaking that rule. We don't want that to happen. And then this one too, if I took it, again, it would break that rule of going in on itself. So again, I don't want to do that. So I only had to take 2 with that one. It just depends how you draw it and how you orient it. So now I have to do the bottom of my diamond. So I only have one side I'm working with, but I match up my straight edge to the top because the bottom has to mirror it. And I just slide it down a little bit and stop it above the vanishing point and draw my line. Because this and this are parallel. They're mirroring one another. And then I'm done with that diamond shape, and then I just have to erase those little marks that were close to the vanishing point on the other side. So there's the diamond. Let's go over here and do a funky shape. So as I'm doing this, I'm keeping my sketchbook still. But when you're at home and you're working this, you may be having to orient and move your sketchbook around to get better angles on it. I'm just trying to keep mine as still as possible. So I'm going to do a funky shape. And again, I'm just going to kind of go over what I already did previously in the last video and make it nicer and cleaner. So just kind of like the circle, I don't really have points. I don't really have corners. So I'm going to say, well, I'm going to go from here and I'm going to go from here and see what happens. So I line up my straight edge, take it to my vanishing point. Kind of looks like a peanut. And then I take it to my vanishing point. I don't really like how close this got to that building, but that's how it happened. And then I'm going to go again. I line it up on that side, connect it to my vanishing point, and draw my line. So see, I got really, really close here, and that's fine. So now you're like, well, what do I do for the bottom of it? Well, over here, remember, we tried to mimic this curve with this curve. Well, I'm going to try and do that down here. I'm going to try and mimic this funky shape here, but just further down here. So it's going to be a little bit smaller. Maybe I'll make it. And it may not be perfect. When you do these kind of funky shaped buildings, it doesn't always mirror exactly what happened above, and that's okay. It is what it is with these funky shapes. I'm definitely more concerned about like the buildings that have these nice straight lines. Those really need to be like perfectly mirrored. This funky shape and this, whatever. But definitely buildings like this need to be really clean and precise. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see if I can fit 4 more in. Let's see, what kind of shape should we do? Let's just do another square over here. So, you know, your shapes may have to be small, medium, and large. You can't make them all too big or you won't be able to fit 10 on here. So you kind of got to think about that beforehand too. Can't make them too big or they won't all fit. So I'm going back to making sure my straight edge is lined up. Okay, so now I'm going to take my corners. 1, 2, 3. So here I am. I'm going to run into these other buildings. That's okay. So I line up this corner, line it up to my vantage point, and I'm going to stop when I get to that diamond building. You know, I'm going to stop. If you want to, you can go ahead and draw all the way through, and then you'll have to come back and erase. All right, now I'm going to take this corner, line it up, draw my line. The same thing here. And there we go. So it gets a little confusing sometimes down here at the bottom. So again, I'm going to repeat this L shape, but just further down. So I take my straight edge, guide it down. It gets a little confusing, but just try to keep the bottoms. Try not to let all the bottoms of these buildings connect, because then you'll get super confused. So I stopped it there, a little bit above that previous building. And now I'm going to take this, guide it down, stop where that line did, and there's the bottom of this building. And then I gotta get an eraser in there and be really careful where I erase, not to erase other buildings and stuff. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's do 8, 9, 10. So somehow I need to fit 3 in here. We can do another triangle. So I kind of sketch it in here first, and then I'm going to come back with my straight edge. So you can do that too. You can kind of sketch it a little bit and then come back and make it nice and dark. All right, this is going to look different than that one and this one. So again, I'm going to take my corner, go and match it to my vanishing point. Corner, match it. My piece of paper is getting kind of bent up, so my lines are not that nice right now. All right, so I don't really need to take this one, because if I did, it would just go right through the middle, and I don't need that. So now I'm going to take the top of it, guide it down, stop it towards the vanishing point, and make my mark. I'm going to re-go over these sides because they got a little wiggly from the other side of my paper. All right, starting to look like some buildings. Let's do oh, you can do let's see, do like a trapezoid or something. Let's do something like that. Something kind of different other than just a rectangle. Lining it up. All right, so I kind of did this fun trapezoid. Let's see what happens here. So I'm going to take this and see if I need to do any more. So I'm going to take this point, connect it to my vanishing point, like so. Hopefully by the time you're on this building, like your 8th or 9th building, you've gotten the hang of it, I hope. I don't need to take these two because see how they're going in on the building? So that would mean I don't need those. So now, simply, I take the top, guide it down, stop towards the vanishing point when I get close down there, and make my mark. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need one more building. I can do one here or here. I could do one here or here. Anywhere, really. I could go back here. Then it would just be kind of tricky to see stuff. So we could do a small square. We could do a circle. We could do another diamond. Let's see. Let's just do one more square. It never hurts to practice making squares. So I'm going to line up my lines. So remember, when you're making yours, You can use any shape that you want. You don't have to follow every single shape that I made. You can use some of the shapes I did, of course, that's fine. All your shapes can be squares or rectangles. That's totally fine too. So, again, I'm going to go 1, 2. Let's see. So I connect the corner to my vanishing point. Corner to my vanishing point. Let's see if I need this one. Well, see, sometimes when you're in this area or this area, it gets really thin and narrow. It's really, really thin. If you left that out, it wouldn't have been the end of the world. See, it's super duper thin, but I went ahead and put it anyways. Okay, so now to finish it up, and then we're almost done, take the top, guide it down, and then it's super small there, and you're like, really? Well, yeah, you gotta try your best. I line it up, and I move it across, and it's super thin down there, and it's like you can barely see it, but it makes a difference to end it correctly. And there's your 10. But again, the possibilities are endless with what type of shape you start off with and then how it goes to the vanishing point. But hopefully I kind of showed you a lot of different examples, and hopefully you can get the hang of it.